What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So we've got a little bit of a haul, some stuff I picked up from Fragrance Buy, because for those of you that didn't know, as of the release of this video, they are running their annual Boxing Day sale, which I'll have all the info and details of their curated collection that you can get buy one get one half, the different Addict and so on reward levels with different codes they have with free shipping. All the details and links to everything are down in the video description below if you want to check it out, because I did grab a few brilliant examples of some designer stuff that I was eager to get for us to go over. Speaking of finally rebuying Ralph Lauren Safari after all these years, grabbing Invictus Aqua 2024, which they have in stock currently. John Varvatos Oud came back in stock. I finally grabbed a bottle of that. And Tom Ford Vetiver, Grey Vetiver Parfum, which I've been meaning to get, and it's closer to the EDP's price point now, so I finally went to grab a bottle of that. Three of these I've tried in the past. I have a decant of this. I've sampled this. I used to have this, but this is a first time sniff. So we'll check these out and see what they smell like, cross-reference the notes, and give them a score. So stay tuned. So first things first, let's start with 2024's Invictus Aqua from Paco Rabanne, or just Rabanne as it's known now. I do have a decant that Juan sent me. Shout out to Juan, Fat Boy Fragrance. And it was an exclusive in Europe. Then eventually it came to Rabanne's website. I had a dude trying to sell me one of his bottles. He stocked up on for like 200 and kept pressing me for it. And I get it. He was A, trying to help, but also trying to make profit. And I believe I said it in the live stream that, no, I'm going to wait because I have a feeling eventually there will be an opportunity from Fragrance Buy to get it, and I paid $97. So work smarter, not harder. Patience it can be a virtue sometimes. So I finally have it. It is identical to my nose to the 2016. I still, in unpopular opinion, prefer the 2018 ever so slightly. The 2018 is my most complimented fragrance of all time, but this is by far, because of this frosted glass, the coolest looking of the Paco Rabanne Invictus bottles. Juicy, tart, grapefruit, saltwater, aquatic, a hint powdery, a little floral, woodsy, clean and musky, but very bright, fresh saltwater grapefruit. Kind of how you could look at this one. So popular when it came out in 2016 that it got replicated to death. A lot of people made their version and cloned it, especially with designer brands. They went to town making their Invictus Aqua. Probably the most popular example being Legend Spirit from Mont Blanc, which is a really good one. Not quite as salty as this, but typically a great performer, high-level compliment getter. This is just a must. It's a must. Look, for years I wanted to get the 2016 because it was the only one I was missing. Onyx, basically a collector's bottle. People love to argue with me about that. It's the original. It's a reach. Oh, but it's fresher. No, it's the same as the original, just a newer batch. That's why it was fresher versus the original Invictus. Whereas this was the only one I was missing. I mean, it's technically labeled for 2024, but it's the same fragrance as 2016. If you have 2016 and you get this, now you got two bottles of the same fragrance. That's how you can view it. It smells identical to my nose. I've yet to do a side-by-side comparison. I do have a few sprays left in my 2016 carded sample. I need to do so because I've got a pretty sizable decant that Juan had sent me. This is just great. I would highly encourage it. They've now discontinued the 2018 as well, which is hard to come by. Let's pull up these notes just for comparison shakes. Tongue twister, comparison's sake, shall we?
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
The funny thing is Parfumo doesn't even have the 2024 because it's the same. But we pulled up Troll Grantic. I'll put main accords on screen. You got marine, aromatic, citrus, salty, amber, aquatic, woody. I agree with all of that. I would even say a little musky. Highly rated, as expected. They only list the 3 notes this time around: amberwood, grapefruit, and sea notes. That is the main things you're going to smell here, obviously. Outside of that, that's basically what it is. The grapefruit, the saltwater accord, the amber woody tones to it. And like I said, I get a little bit of a clean musky smell, but phenomenal performer, and it's due to that amber wood and sea notes. Oils that they use here, they really give it some pop off of the skin. Great longevity. Just It's a 9 out of 10 kind of fragrance for me. That's just what it is. That's how I've always felt. Not everybody's going to agree. It is a synthetic aquatic, but, you know, chemically synthetic smelling aquatic, but there's no denying how good this smells in the air. It draws people in. Sometimes simple, basic designer aquatics, they work. They get more compliments from people than most fragrances do, because who doesn't love a good aquatic? And this is an outstanding aquatic at 9 out of 10. This is Invictus Aqua 2024. So let's bust out a blast from the past. Classic old school masculine Ralph Lauren Safari. Boy, has it been a long time since I've smelled this fragrance. I did not need this much of this fragrance. I have a rather large bottle. I grabbed the 4.2 ounce bottle, but what a classic style to this bottle, right? I've been needing to add this back to my collection. I had a small bottle, shoot, when I was in my late teens, I want to say. It's been a long time. What I remember of it is a lot of greenery, very aromatic, spiced, woody, that classic barbershop style, more of a fougere than anything else. Let's do 2 sprays, what the hell. That light wood grain feel. Bit animalic and musky out in the air, I gotta say. Yeah, this is man's man, old school masculine kind of stuff right here. Timeless. Timeless. This is a good pair of jeans and a nice button-down shirt. You know what I mean? Spiced green aromatic fougere. It's just what it is. This is so timeless. This grows great with a suit and tie. It's a very professional scent. Again, old school masculine. Will never go out of style. Not really super appealing to the young men and younger ladies, or, you know, on the young men appealing to the younger ladies, but I mean, everybody's different. Dated dad smell kind of thing is what it would get thrown at it from the younger crowd, but I disagree. As a young man, I always appreciated this. Let's pull up these notes. It's been a long time since I've looked at the notes.
12 seconds later.
Ralph Lauren Safari, 1992. Spicy, woody, leathery, fresh floral. So we got coriander, green notes, and lavender. A lot of that. Aldehydes. I don't remember that. Makes sense. Had a little bit of a fizziness to it, a little effervescent. Bergamot, lemon, vermouth, and neroli. Not really a neroli. Carnation. That's old school. That doesn't get used much anymore. Cinnamon, rose, tarragon, cyclamen, and jasmine. Notice the theme, a lot of green notes, tarragon. You got your lavender, carnation, and cinnamon really stand out here. You got sandalwood, cedar, leather, patchouli, amber, musk, oak moss. So more green, more earthy, animalic notes, woods, amber, all the goodies to this one. All the goodies. I'm confident it's still going to be a pretty good performer. It used to be like monstrous, you know, less is more kind of fragrance, like 5 to 7 sprays, smells like you bathed in it. That's how it used to be. And maybe it kind of smells like it might have a similar experience, where I think 5 to 7 sprays is going to be like maximum for me. I think certain settings I could probably get away with 3 to 5 being the sweet spot for this one. Because again, this is less is more kind of stuff. This one will punch you in the nose, like this leathery facet to it with the musk. Patchouli gives this earthy animalic feel to it. Timeless. Timeless. Not for everyone. This is for a certain demographic, age group, generation in general. I would say this is great, though. This is every bit of an 8.5 out of 10. This is a must in anyone's collection that likes the style. The aromatic fougere, the classic aromatic fougere that's centered around florals and greens. Yeah, this is that. This is, you know, pair of Levi jeans in a bottle. It's kind of how you can look at it. And I don't mean with a basic t-shirt either. So Ralph Lauren Safari, 8.5 out of 10. Let's go a bit more upscale, shall we? Tom Ford Grey Vetiver Parfum. I grabbed the 50 ml because I don't need more than that. And, you know, they get a little pricey. Now, I will say, the one time I smelled it, a richer opening versus the Eau de Parfum, but dried into the Eau de Parfum. That's why I was like, it's too pricey. Just get the Eau de Parfum because they basically become the same fragrance. Do love the bottle, though. Love, love, love the bottle. But now that it got within like $10 of what the Eau de Parfum costs for a 50 ml, I was like, okay, I'll get the richer opening. One good spray right on the lion's face. There it is. A little bit of a light honeyed type of sweetness, a bit metallic even. like a saffron spice metallic type of thing going here. Still green, a little earthy. I even get a hint of some kind of sour note in here. Just, it's always been such a classy, elegant profile. I've never smelled the EDT. I'm very familiar with the Eau de Parfum. Never got around to getting a bottle. I've smelled it a handful, maybe a little more than a handful of times. And this is only my second time smelling the Parfum. But I do deem it special enough to where if the price got right, I was going to get this one of the three, concentrations. And here we are. Just the right amount of spice. It even comes across a little bit leathery. That's got to be saffron. It smells like saffron. I could be wrong here. I do not remember the notes other than the obvious, which would be vetiver. Not for everyone, not an everyone type of fragrance. We went from mega over the top mass appeal to super masculine, classy type of stuff here. We got back-to-back options. Let's pull these notes up.
More moments later.
It is saffron. Okay, so I'm not crazy. Main accord, spicy, woody, green, fresh, earthy. We got Haitian vetiver, orange blossom, and saffron. The saffron's doing the most here. It's doing a lot of things. So they don't list metallic. It is spicy. It is green. It is woodsy. It is earthy. I get a little hint of sour. I wouldn't say it's all that fresh. I would have put that as the fifth accord, if anything. A little fresh, but the saffron's giving me metallic spicy. Matches the color, the color tone and theme. It does come across metallic, spiced. I would say even a little leathery for my taste. And the Haitian vetiver, I think that's where you could argue the fresh accord that they're saying here, because it's not as earthy as it is fresh, I guess. It's not like a super dirty vetiver. Haitian vetiver is a little bit cleaner in my experience. Not really a soapy vetiver, but a nice woody presence, a little bit of green to it. Just so well-rounded, such a professional scent. This is great for a business professional. This is weapon of choice, daily Swiss Army knife type of fragrance for business professionals. Back when I was at Mercedes, this would have been a great go-to every day. I still prefer scents like that, even though that's not my daily life anymore. I still prefer these profiles. I just love a really good professional office setting scent. It's just, I don't know, I'm just programmed and wired that way. That is my taste, So this is another one where I would put it in that 8.5 out of 10 category. Just a great option. Definitely worth sampling, but wildly redundant if you have the EDP. Last but not least, it's come in stock a bunch of times this year, and I finally bit the bullet and grabbed John Varvatos Oud. I don't expect a realistic oud smell to this whatsoever. I love the brand John Varvatos. I think you get a lot of bang for your buck from their fragrances, as long as you temper your expectations on performance most of the time. That's a cool looking bottle. Has this chain mesh kind of thing going. It's plastic, but the fleur-de-lis, love my fleur-de-lis. So definitely my favorite caps, the Rebel, Dark Rebel Rider. They have the fleur-de-lis on them as well. So 4.2 ounce, I'll never go through it. I don't need this much of the fragrance, but it was what's available. So let's give it a spray over here on top of this forearm. 2 sprays, kind of a thicker stream than anticipated. I'm expecting spicy, earthy, dirty musk kind of thing. A little animalic maybe. And maybe some sweetness. Potentially medicinal, I don't know. It depends on the oud accord they're going for here. It might be dry, it might be medicinal, it might be funky, I don't know. Kind of drenched my arm right here. It does have a little funk. I wonder if that's castoreum like Dark Rebel has. Because it's got that little bit of funk to it. That is good. That is good. I can tell you right now, just upon these first couple of sniffs, this is one of their best options. Because it's not their basic fresh stuff. They got a ton of basic fresh stuff. And I say basic because fresh is fresh. And fresh is done to death, right? Like their fresh green scents, the Artisan Aqua, Artisan Blue, the Artisan line as a whole. Beautiful, fresher fragrances. Loads of redundancy there. Whereas here is the more interesting stuff. And I think that's why a lot of people have praised Dark Rebel so much over the years. Because I still think that's their best fragrance they've ever done. This is definitely a little on the funky side, and it's a touch incensey. It's got a dark, smoky element to it, but it's not like a heavy smoke accord. You can tell it's I wouldn't call it a wispy incense, but it's setting in quite a bit. There's a A little bit of fluff to the smoky accord. This is a good one. I ended up, so I was going to wear this today, Private Accord. I ended up switching it up. I wore home for the holidays during the day, and when we went back that later last night to my grandmother's, I wore this for the second round because I ended up taking a shower after the gym. I was going to wear that today. I might wear this. It's the most interesting fragrance in this haul. It's got that little bit of funk. I'll be surprised if Castoreum's not in here like Dark Rebel.
12 seconds later.
2014. It's been out a long time. Pretty highly rated. 7.9 out of 10. Woody, spicy, oriental, smoky, resinous. Yeah, I agree. So here we go. A lot of notes. A lot of notes. Wow. Okay. Clary sage, hyssop. Don't know what that is. Laventine cypress, tobacco, and juniper berry. We've got osmanthus absolute, some earthy floral, Egyptian jasmine absolute, cinnamon, Malabar pepper, Sri Lankan cardamom, Zanzibar clove, Persian saffron, Turkish rose absolute. So a multitude of different spices. And I wouldn't call it over the top, like tickle your nose kind of spice. Clearly spicy, but not overdone at the same time. Base notes, we got frankincense, oud, myrrh, opanox, amber, black leather, Lebanon cedar, Spanish labdanum. So we got a few things enhancing a leather accord with the Spanish labdanum and the black leather. So there's your leather accord. That notes like that, opanox and such, are probably why in the incense it's tying into Dark Rebel a lot for me. They don't have the Castoreum listed, but it has kind of that funkiness to it that I get from the Castoreum. So nice and spicy, smoky, aromatic. I would say leathery and, you know, a bit more animalic. But I wouldn't call it super woodsy. Like either they have woody as the main accord, maybe as it dries down it becomes all about woods, but in the opening, early stages, not so much. It's woody, but not where I'd be like, oh, this is a extremely woody fragrance. Maybe later, then a few hours in or something, but this is beautiful. That spice is setting in more and more. It is the most interesting of these four by far, and I think that's got to bump its score to 9 out of 10. This is outstanding. Just based off of this initial impression of this fragrance, I think this is right behind Dark Rebel from the house. This is probably the second most interesting fragrance I've ever smelled from John Varvatos, and I have most of the fragrances. I don't have like Rock 20th Anniversary or whatever it's called. I don't have Platinum. I have a decant, fortunately, of Artisan Black, so I have tried it. I don't own the bottle, but outside of those three, I think that's like the only ones I'm missing. My memory serves me correctly. I have pretty much everything else from the house, and I would say this is at minimum top 3, but I don't know what I would put above it other than Dark Rebel. It is that good. Super late to the party, cooler weather, special event kind of stuff. This has a bit of an impactful wow factor to it because it's just different, you know. Has a little bit of funky earthiness. It's smoky, but it's still very approachable. There's a distinctive personality that's not trying to be too far outside the box, but is definitely a bit more interesting than the run-of-the-mill standard stuff you're going to come across at a special event, a party, a get-together, and so on. Yeah, I mean, I had to at least tie it with, you know, the mass appealing monster of the bunch at minimum. The mass appealing one and the most interesting one, 9 out of 10. Well, interesting haul. You can definitely pick these up. They are all in stock currently. Check out the link down below. Again, the information for their for the Boxing Day sale is down below. I'm going to be buying stuff as per usual. I still have another fragrance haul to go over. I had 2 hauls come in. This was one of them. Right before Christmas, I brought them with me. We're traveling back home today. So yeah, definitely check them out. I mean, you can never go wrong with such a timeless classic like this. And you business professionals, I urge you, try this one and then buy it online because it's much more affordable. But for those of you that were waiting on an opportunity to get the newest version of Invictus Aqua, which is just the original brought back, you can get it for right under $100. And actually, if you're at the O Addict level, you can get 12% off on top of that. So you can probably get it, I didn't do the math on it, but right around $89 range, $88. totally a grab right there. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe before you leave. I'll catch you on the next one.